Hey guys, I can never figure out if this spinning thing means that I am live or not. Okay, I'm live. So, hello there again. This is day 6 of my 21 days of um, just talking about what it takes for you to get to a place where your spiritual business or your business as a spiritual person, as a spiritual business owner, what's going to take you to get to creating 10,000 a month or more consistently? Consistent is the word you is after, because it's easy to have a month of $10,000 because you just do a launch, you make a lot of sales in a short time. It's like a different thing to have it all the time. So this is what we're after. So what I want to talk to today is truth. So you probably don't know this, but my background is in multidimensional codependence counseling, therapy, coaching, whatever you want to call it. And one of the symptoms of codependence is avoiding reality because it's too unpleasant. And the way it shows up is denial, delusion, minimization, wishful thinking, fantasizing, daydreaming, making assumptions, interpretations. So, and when I say codependent, it's like, I mean, like typically everything in shadow that's fear-based, that's victim-based, is coming from the shame core of I don't feel good enough. It's like low self-esteem, not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough is sort of what creates, all the different codependent symptoms, which goes into perfectionism and, manipulation and not trusting the universe and addictions and having difficulties in relationship and not standing up for yourself and not being able to say no and not knowing who you want, etc. It's like everything comes down, to you don't believe you're good enough when you talk about the codependence. So it hurts. It hurts to know that you're not good enough. So what do we do? And maybe people don't like you. You feel an imposter. You feel you're unlovable, unwanted, whatever. So in order to protect ourselves from this hurt, we use denial, which means pretending that things are not as bad as they really are, or pretending the truth is not the truth. That's actually delusion. Delusion is when, in spite of all evidence to the contrary, you still hold on to something as the truth. Minimization is when you make, and the denial part is when you can see a problem in somebody else but not in yourself. So minimization is like you actually see the problem, but you make it less serious than it is. So it's like a typical example I come up with here is, a woman who is physically abused by her husband. She goes to the emergency and she says, "Oh yeah, he beats me up, but this is because he loves me." Right? It's like serious minimization of a bad problem. Or you can call that delusion also. Or it's like drinking 20 cups of coffee a day as the only liquid that's taking in. Oh yeah, I drink 20 cups of coffee a day, but it's not that bad. It's not that big a problem. Then there is, wishful thinking. And it is kind of like, I remember one of my clients back then, she was very much into always focusing on the day she would one day live. And sort of always part of her was sort of in that daydream. And yet she never took any actions to actually make that, dream happen. It became sort of an escape from the life she didn't actually really live, like that she was living. She was enduring it. It wasn't giving her any joy. And then she avoided it by going into this, oh, I wish my life was like this. And then one day I feel like this and I will do like this. So it was always like a wish. So we call it wishful thinking. And version of that is, daydreaming. It's like you just live in a daydream all the time. You get lost in daydreams about, how life could be and wishing. And another part of the codependence is that you make assumptions based on what's happening inside of you. So you project yourself onto everybody else, you project yourself onto other people, and you make quick assumptions of, why they're doing what they're doing or what things mean. And then the same with interpretations, because you experience life through your filter of codependence or shadows or whatever you call it. And that means you interpret them according to what you see through your filter of your codependence and your shadow, or your shadows, whatever you want to call it. So you don't see through. It's like what you see, like, kind of gets skewed and distorted. So by the time it arrives, in your conscious awareness, it can be very different from what the facts of life really is. So what it all amounts to is that of living in, not in a reality where you deal with the facts, but you live in a virtual reality according to your denials, delusions, minimizations, wishful thinking, fantasizing, daydreaming, assumptions, and interpretations, right? It's like that becomes sort of a virtual reality, but you actually don't know you're living in the virtual reality, and that's a problem. So what happens when you change a virtual reality, right? Because what we're after here is changing, right? It's getting from X amount of money to a different amount of money in our business, and that new amount of money is going to be more. So what we're after is changing the facts of life, because it's a fact that you make 2,500 months, and you want to change it to the fact that you're making 10,000 a month. So in order to make more money, you actually have to deal with the facts of life. But if you're living in a virtual reality, because you have too many shadows or whatever, what happens is that when you try to grow your business, you're actually changing a virtual reality. And that means you're just getting another virtual reality. Okay? If you change the fantasy, you get another fantasy. If you change the daydream, you change another daydream. If you change the virtual reality, you're getting another virtual reality. It's like you can't change the virtual reality and get different real life facts out of them. It doesn't work that way. If you want real life facts, you have to deal with real life facts, and you have to work on changing real life facts. And this is where the truth test comes in, because part of that whole denial, delusion, minimization, wishful thinking, it actually also shows up in your business, and mostly with yourself. So a typical one is, I want to make 10,000 a month. But that can often just be a wishful thinking, because you like the idea of it. It makes you feel good to think about it. It's like that's your daydream. This is your wishful thinking. But if you test the truth of this, you might be surprised. And anything else is like, oh, I want like 25 people in my program. Yeah, it's a worthy goal, but is that actually the truth? Because a lot of times these goals and desires around your business comes from, how do you say it, like in the virtual reality, and they're not tested against the fact, because you don't even know that they're not facts, because they look like facts in your mind. You can't trust your mind. So, and this is a truth test I developed myself to deal with my own denial, delusion, minimization, wishful thinking, fantasizing, daydreaming, what was the other two? Assumptions, making assumptions, and interpretation. Because I realized that I wanted to make a lot of money, so why weren't the money coming in? And then I ask myself, so since everything in my life happens exactly like I wanted, because I'm the sole creator of my life, and I have proof that when I want to make money, I do make it. When I don't want to make money, I don't make it. So if I believe I want to make money, but the money is not coming in, then I must be lying to myself, because otherwise the money would be here. So I started challenging myself. It's like I was looking at the facts in my life, and were they reflecting what I believe my true desire was? And if they weren't, I had to go in and double check. Wait a minute. Do I really want what I say I want, or if there's something hiding under it? So I will go, I want, no, do I really want to make, like, I will ask the same question twice, and I will do it out loud, because I need to hear the tone of my answer, the energy in my answer. So I will ask myself twice out loud, the same question I will answer out loud. The answers are yes, I will, or yes, I do, and no, I don't, no, I won't. And just that simple. You can't embellish it, because as soon as you embellish the answers, it should just be very, very, very simple. Yes, I will, or yes, I do, or no, I don't, no, I won't. As soon as you start adding more, you obfuscate the truth. So you can't hear the truth. So here's a demonstration. I don't know how many times I've had to do this over my lifetime. So, do I really want to make a lot of money? Yeah, I do. Do I really want to make a lot of money? No, I don't. So you could hear the truth was in my yes answer, right? There was a very different energy, tone, frequency, power in the yes answer as opposed to the no answer. But if my answer, so I'm going to do it again and pay attention. Do I really want to make a lot of money? Yes, I do. Do I really want to make a lot of money? No, I don't. And I can hear the truth in myself. I instantly know which one is true or not. So I've had a few people say they cannot detect the truth. They can't tell which one is truth. And what that's actually indicative of is like, you don't know what truth is, right? When you can't distinguish the truth, it's because you don't actually know what truth is and what it sounds like. So you might have all these ideas of truth, what the truth is, but when you go in and challenge the truth and test it, like I just showed you, you might realize something very different. There's a deeper truth that is the one that's actually being reflected to you with what facts life gives back to you. So there are many people who want to do a spiritual business, a very successful spiritual business. They want. But it's not happening, and it's not happening, and it's not happening, and it's not happening. So when they say they want that, I will go in and challenge them on it. Because if it's not happening, it's because they actually don't want it to happen. Because life is always exactly as you want it. So now what happens if you get no? So do I really want to make a lot of money? Yes, I do. Do I really want to make a lot of money? No, I don't. So I'm exaggerating it. So here, no, I don't, has the power of truth. And, first when I started doing this truth test on myself, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to make another penny again. It's like I'm screwing up my whole life. I don't want to make money. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And then somehow it occurred to me, inspiration, intuition, whatever, to take it one step further and then go, so am I willing to want to make a lot of money? Yes, I am. Am I willing to want to make a lot of money? No, I'm not. So here again, it's like, if this is where your yes comes in, then you're good, because you're willing to want. So it's just a matter of time whether you're actually going to want it too. And that can happen as fast as within a couple of minutes. But you have found your yes, that you want to make a lot of money. But if the answer is no again, am I willing to want to make a lot of money? No, I'm not. And then you take one step further back. And because, it's like that's what your shadow, it's all your shadow, your personality issues, your fucked upness that is preventing you from actually getting behind the desire of your higher self, if you want to put it that way. So yes, of course you want to make a lot of money, right? But it's like that desire is blocked by shadow. So you take it back one step. Am I willing to want to make a lot of money? Yes, I am. Am I willing to want to make a lot of money? No, I'm not. So I can tell you here, it's like sometimes you have to step it back to, am I willing to want X, Y, Z? And that answer is always yes. It has always been yes for me. It might be no, you just take a step back one further because the yes will be there. And that's your truth. That's a fact. And once you have the true fact, then you can begin to work with the facts of changing the facts that your income is currently only 2,000-3,000 a month and changing it into the fact of 10,000 a month. But as long as you believe that, yes, I want to make a lot of money, and it's not happening, it's actually not true that you want to make a lot of money, because there's a shadow overriding that, and you need to see or hear the truth of the shadow speaking. It's like the shadow needs to be exposed to the light of truth, which is what my truth test is about. So if you live in your virtual reality and you have a desire in your virtual reality that you want to, grow your business to 10,000 a month consistently or more, and it's not happening, then that desire can very well be just part of your virtual reality that you have created for yourself, where maybe someday, but it's not facts. So take the truth test. Do I really want this? Yes, I do. Do I really want this? No, I don't. Am I willing to want this? Yes, I am. Am I willing to want this? No, I'm not. Am I willing to want this? Yes, I am. Am I willing to want this? No, I'm not. So, substitute this for the specific that you're trying to create, and keep it simple. Keep it simple. Because once you have that, it's like truth is power. Power is truth. It's like the absolute truth is where you get in touch with your power. When you're in a virtual reality of wishful thinking or whatever, you're totally disconnected from your power. And when you're disconnected from your power, you're not going to be able to change the facts of life, meaning getting new clients, coming up with new marketing, making sales. It's just not going to happen. So I have 3 spots open for spiritual business owners, spiritual entrepreneurs who are determined to change the facts of their life, to have consistent 10K months. I've actually never said it like this before. It's like people who are actually willing to step out of their daydreams or their wishful thinking or their denials and assumptions and delusions and minimizations and fantasies. People who are willing to step out of the virtual reality and change the facts of their life. So the new fact is consistent 10K plus months. Okay? So this is a big part of the work I'm doing with people. It's like you got to come out of any virtual reality you're living in, which we call shadow or whatever, and begin to deal with the facts, because that's where the power to manifest and create different facts, a completely different life with completely different facts lies. Okay, so if you're interested in applying for one of these spots, please send me a private message and I'll send you the application to fill out. I think this is it. I'll see you tomorrow for day number 7 of these 21 days.